Welcome to the Select Board meeting for July 7th, 2025. Look for motion going into executive session 1 MRSA 405-6A.
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you. We'll be back at 7 with a regular meeting.
Yeah, we can come in.
Okay, welcome back. We're coming out of executive session, MRSA 405-6A. Moving into a public hearing for Stephanie Wood, doing business as Limerick Outdoors LLC. You don't have to say, just ask if there's any comments. And if there would be anybody that would like to make a comment?
For or against, anybody? The public hearing for the peppermint is what we're on right now.
Okay.
I don't know, Bernie, if you know, but did they have some issues with people smoking on the porch continually? Has that been, there was a fire down there, small fire, a couple months ago or a month ago?
Could have that happen anytime. That's just.
It was downstairs, it wasn't from smoking on the porch? Oh, okay. Yeah, I assume if the fire chief had a big issue,
He'd be here.
he would have let us know, and he didn't, so.
I mean,
Perfect.
you can only watch so much. If somebody's going to sneak out there and smoke, they're going to sneak out there and smoke. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, we should call a regular meeting or whatever and vote on it first. So if there's nothing else, you can close the public
If
hearing.
there's nothing else, no comments, we'll close the public hearing. And take a 5-minute break. Or... Okay, all right.
Let's roll.
All right. Well, we'll start the meeting then. All right, thank you. Oh, yeah, we gotta start the meeting. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the Selectboard meeting for July 7th. Pledge of Allegiance, please.
We'll turn that thing now. I could just about be,
Yeah, I think it's, go ahead. So I make a motion that we approve the Department of Financial Services Bureau of Alcohol Beverages and Lottery Operations liquor license for Limerick Outdoors LLC, doing business as Peppermill Restaurant 2.
Second motion.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you.
Did you abstain or did you vote? I don't know how I had a chance to vote.
Abstain?
oh,
okay.
okay.
So the motion is second for the liquor license for the Peppermill.
Okay. Took care of me.
Okay. All right, look for motion to approve the minutes for June 23rd.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor? Okay. Motion to accept the warrants.
Make a motion, we accept.
Okay. Second motion. Okay. All in favor? Okay, the announcements. Opposed, sorry about that. Sorry about that. The announcements. The next semi-sesquicentennial meeting will be the town's 250th anniversary, will be Tuesday, July 17th, and Thursday, August 7th at 6 p.m. at the fire station. Please reach out to Lisa LePage for more information, 651-1594. The tax collector and town clerk will be closed on Fridays until September 26th. Sorry for any inconvenience. The planning board will meet on Wednesday, July 16th at 7 p.m. And the select board is meeting every other week. The next select board meeting will be Monday, July 21st at 7 p.m. Bingo will be held at the Brick Town Hall on Wednesday, July 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. Doors open at 4:40 and calling will begin at 6 p.m. There will be 50-50 raffle. Snacks will be available for purchase. Come join the fun. As part of the hearing of citizens policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public will be tolerated during any meeting. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman of the board or select persons outside the public meeting. Please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org. Okay. All right, department reports. Lisa LePage and Anne Marie Carroll.
I'm Anne Marie Carroll. I'm a co-chair with Lisa on the semi-quincentennial committee. And the reason for my visit tonight is I'd like to discuss the deposits and donations from our sponsors that are donating towards our 2026 calendar. We had gold sponsors, silver sponsors, and bronze sponsors. And the gold sponsors consisted of any donations $200 or above, and that was for the 12-month pitches. And then we had silver sponsors that were between $100 and $199, and the bronze was anything under $100. We actually had 41 sponsors that we collected money from. And when I set this up, I dealt with Greg Mellahon, who's the director, and he approved for me to come and meet with Julie to make all these deposits. And Julie set up an account number for us, beginning with the letter R. And what I did was, this is actually my gold folder, and I'll show you an example. What I've done is I went to everybody who was donating. This is the part of the receipt that I kept and what they wanted written in the calendar. Then I made a copy of this, and I attached a copy of their check. Julie had I made a copy for Julie as well, and I also wrote on here what the account number was that she created for our group. And then the second page is the same thing. It lists the sponsor name, the date, what kind of member they were, gold, silver, or sponsor, the check number, and the donation. And then Julie wrote the receipt number on the top of my form. Then she went and she initialed it and she dated the date she did it. But then afterwards, she also printed me out an actual donation form. So all 41 of these have all this information, but she also kept a form like this that she gave to Alicia, because Alicia's keeping a folder for the rec department for Greg to look at any time. So that's, I have all three folders here, and they do list the account number on them. And my question is, the account starts with the letter R, and what does the R stand for? Does it stand for rec department? Does it stand for revenue? Have I been doing this correctly? Or you can look at, I'll show you. You can, this one is the bronze sponsor, this one's silver, and this one's gold. And you'll see a spreadsheet where that's the account number, and that's what we have for amounts and all of those. So you can, and you let me know if am I doing this correctly? I don't want to find out that I should be doing it differently. But not only that, I've worked closely with Alicia in regards to any purchases we made. I have purchase orders, invoices, and receipts, and I also have a spreadsheet of everything as of today's date, what we spent so far, and that is the same account number, which is right here, that we use, and that's what we spent so far. Those are our receipts, and that's the folder. So, Anybody else want to see this here? This is what we spent the other day, and you'll see in red, that's the account number. Is that, what does that R mean? Does it mean revenue? I mean, does it mean the rec department? I don't know, but that's what was set up for us. And I wanted to make sure that we're doing that correctly.
Revenue? Can we draw on the revenue account?
And I deposited thousands of dollars in that account. And I just want to make sure it's done. Do you want me to make any changes, or is it to your satisfaction? I've kept extensive records, which you can see on all of them. You can pass them down and look at the others. They're all separate, silver, bronze, or gold. And then, like I said, this is you can look at this, I'll punch it before I leave, but that's my receipt folder. And I had a wonderful time with the townspeople. I met a lot of great people in town. Some people came to me wanting to be a part of the calendar, and it was a great experience. But not only that, when I approached the businesses, I did explain to them that any monies left over from this August event and the October event was going to go to the 1928 antique fire truck, and they were happy to donate to that cause. But not only that, my daughter, as a favor to me, is creating this calendar for us. And it's saving the committee a lot of money. And so because of this, we're going to be able to sell the calendars at just $5 a piece. And this has been our only fundraiser to try to pull off this event. And we're going to have many, many free items, especially for the children. Everything for children is free, right down to prizes and games and popcorn and balloons and cotton candy. A lot. It's going to be, hopefully, I'm just hoping for nice weather. So, any questions, or what do you?
Looks good to me.
And what does that R mean, though? Does it mean rec department? Does it mean revenue? I don't know. I didn't ask at the time because that's what was created for our committee.
It's revenue.
Revenue.
It's revenue?
It's a revenue account.
Okay. So have I done it correctly? Money in, money out so far? Same
I
account?
think you've tracked everything perfectly. I don't think there's any.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
We're not taking in any more donations. That's because we had a cutoff date. Because we're in the process of trying to pull this together, because my daughter went out and took 600 pictures a week ago Sunday. And so it should be really nice. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. So, and I do appreciate thanking everybody out there, townspeople, that donated to the cause. I really appreciate it, because we wouldn't have been able to do this without them. So.
Good question. Is there going to be a parade during this whole thing?
Yes, it's going to be a parade, and it's going to, the lineup's at 9 o'clock. It's going to start at 10, and it's going to come up Main Street. We're going to end up at Tibbetts Memorial Park, and we're going to have some music. We're going to have a benediction. We're going to have several people speaking. Brady's doing a speech for us. The person that was here for the first, the bicentennial, was David Carpenter. He's going to help open the time capsule and going to be a part of that. Charlie's going to help him, and he's going to give a speech. And it's not going to be a big long ceremony, but and programs will be handed out so everybody knows what's going on for the festivities. And hopefully we'll have programs out in the community.
So as of right now, the time capsule hasn't been opened or anything?
It has not been open. Nothing's going out to anybody. But also, what you're going to be able to pick up in the fire station is we've done envelopes with instructions on them where you can pick them up if you want to put something in it for the next 50 years. And there's going to be 2 drop-off points. Alicia has agreed to having a pick-up point here and a drop-off box, and the fire station has done the same thing. So if the town office is closed, the fire station is always open. They can just ring a bell, and if they don't pick up their folder, their envelope at the fire station on August 9th, they can pick it up at a later time, and the deadline is September 30th, so we can reseal the time capsule and whatnot. So, and we'll know, we've only done 200 envelopes, so we'll know if we need to do more after August 9th. Any more questions?
Well, just getting back to so this isn't going to be like we had when we had Founders Day,
No.
sign up for slots or anything? For the
No,
parade?
no, I'll let Lisa talk a little bit about the parade because she's handling a big part of that. So she could probably answer more of that part. My biggest thing is doing this calendar and getting the donations and the monies we need to pull off this event. So, but it sounds like it's going to be a great, maybe we can get a selectman to get in the dunk tank. That would be neat too.
There you go, Wade.
Are we all set? So I'm good with this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You swim? Put you in the dunk? Don't I see put you in the dunk? They can't swim?
Can't swim.
One of the things I just want to clarify with everyone, are we going to be all set? I know now from the last meeting that we have to go in front of the townspeople to vote that whatever funds that we have left over from the two events goes to the Antique Fire Department. I know there was concerns that you didn't see it.
And I apologize, last meeting.
You and I talked.
I went home and started
Yep.
looking at old video, and I was clearly dozing off and
But we
missed
just
it
want
when
to
you
make
said it.
sure, because this has been one of our biggest spiels to the sponsors, that what their concern is, what happens to this money? Disappears, whatever. And we say, absolutely not, we have a plan. So, and I saw that you're having a special town meeting, could we get it on that versus November?
Yeah, I see why not. I mean, it'll be a quick and easy. Yep.
You're going to talk to him about that.
Oh, the parade, what would you like to know?
No, I was just curious if there was going to be a sign up of how long this is going to be.
It's grown, Howard, from what we normally have. We have,
To what?
we have floats. We have the trucks that come, like the fire trucks,
How does anybody know how to sign up for this?
they call me. It's supposed to be Greg Melhorn, but it's sort of gotten put on to me.
Because I haven't heard anything.
Yep.
I was just thinking, because I was out to see my son last week, we went to a couple parades, and it was like, one of them was an hour and a half long.
Oh, we're not thinking,
And
we're
where they sign- where
about
they sign
30
up, they all
to
have
40
marked it
minutes.
on the streets.
Right. We can't get ROTC to come because, nor the marching band, because it's summer vacation and they don't, unless they personally chose to
I
come
was
march.
just wondering about businesses and stuff they want to
Yeah,
participate in,
we've got-
who they get in touch with. You know,
Yep.
ought to have something maybe on Facebook.
But they can reach out to
or-
me because I've got a good lineup for,
Yeah, but they gotta know to get in touch with you, that's what I'm getting at.
well, we announce it every week, every selectmen's meeting. It's been announced. I have it all over Facebook.
Okay, so,
That's what Gail put out there too.
And Gail put it out on Facebook and, yeah, Facebook. And it's on the town website and
And you see you're getting a lot of response.
we have,
You're getting a lot of response.
we've got actually,
So people are.
should be a
people
pretty
are seeing
good-
it, Yeah.
yeah, we have 4 floats at this point. We have probably a dozen antique vehicles. Then we have the, like JP trucks, we have FR's trucks, just the regular trucks that we put in. Dave Carpenter is going to be Grand Marshal, and he's going to be on the antique fire truck with his top hat. He had his top hat 50 years ago, and he still has it. So he'll be opening up the whole ceremony with his top hat. But we've already got plans, we've laid it out, and we are doing a schedule, what is it called? What schedule that you're making up?
Oh, we're going to be doing a program. And,
But also included will be a map of where
everything is.
it's basically all on School Street, but we'll lay out where the kids' games are, all of that. We are asking children or adults to decorate your bikes. I want bikes in it. We have the Maine Bike Coalition coming, where they teach children how to repair minor repairs to their bikes, how they pass out helmets, and they do a little rodeo. The American Legion is going to do that with them, with the older Boy Scouts. It should be, sorry, I get messages come directly into my hearing aids, very, very distracting. we were worried because school streets are so short. So now we're getting a little more participants in the parade. We've got it so that we can line them up, like double line on the back School Street. They're taking the fire trucks out because you gotta remember, we're using the bays of the fire station. They're gonna park them on each end of School Street, so whichever way a call comes in both rescues, they can go out from there. So nothing will be impeded with rescue calls.
Remind us the date of the parade again?
The parade is Saturday, August 9th. It starts at 10, lineup is at 9. Oh my God. Yep, what was I saying? Lineup is at 9, only because it's growing and we want to make sure we line them up. Boy Scouts are helping. We need volunteers. We have face painting. We have a few teenagers. If you're looking for your volunteer hours for high school, reach out because Bree Hamilton is doing like the children's games. We need like that. So we need help. The other thing I've had a few calls, concerns, some very more adamant than others, that we're opening this time capsule up a year early. It's like, no, we're not. On the certificates, on the paperwork we have, it was sealed August 10th, 1975. So we're opening it a day early. We're doing it August 9th, 2025. So we're not early. I want to stress that. We're not doing this early.
So where are the videos?
I wouldn't have minded having another year to do this.
The videos come from on Facebook then, that you've been posting?
It's been posted.
Yeah, but where are you getting the videos? It looks like, that's why I asked if that had been opened up yet.
Oh, Historical Society. I go to the church and take pictures out of the books. Now, David Carpenter sent me a lot of pictures that he had, physical pictures, that I used. So that's why a lot of the pictures I've been posting come from him.
Okay.
But yeah, the Historical Society, guys, someday you want to check it out. I didn't realize how much history, how much information we have on this town. So, any questions? It's coming together. It's been a lot of work.
One person that's kind of, or both of you kind of coordinating everything?
We're co-chairs. We've been doing it all, basically.
We have a committee. We have a committee, and we're meeting every 2 weeks.
So we're not going to give one of these things last minute by saying it's their fault?
No, actually, we've done pretty good, Anne Marie. We haven't killed each other.
We actually have a cash sheet that everybody signed up to do special cash and who they're gonna have as volunteers.
Okay.
We updated it. I have a current one on me, to show you for our next meeting. I can show you a copy of it. Here you go. It's a cash sheet where everybody's participating, and this is our punch list for our next meeting. Joel, can you pass it down? You can keep it, okay. Where's our punch list for our next meeting? Already all set.
And we just go over that each meeting.
So, and after we have a meeting, I automatically update those, so we're all set for the next meeting.
I also want to stress, which I haven't got out there yet, that's why probably Martha Hamilton's messaging, calling me right now, is the sanctuary at the church will be open 9 to noon on the 9th, so that people can go in, as well as the academy will be open 9 to noon, just the history again.
And that's gonna be listed on the program.
It will be listed.
Handed out.
And once we get them printed, we'll put them down like all the local spots for people to get.
The dance on Friday night. The dance on Friday night.
Dance Friday night, it's open to the public. It's at the fire station, and the Freedom Lodge is sponsoring that with snacks, small sandwiches, music, drinks.
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
It's a family dance.
Yep, it's family, it's not. So go get your groove on, guys.
But you can keep that if you want it for your reference.
And then again, on the 18th of October is part 2. This is where we're going down at FR's, and we will be doing the toucher truck with Mike Carroll is in charge of that, but we're joining forces with, we'll be doing a fire truck pull. We'll have the antique fire truck down there, but they said it's too heavy, people won't be able to pull it. So they're gonna take the lightest fire truck, and we're trying to make teams up from different departments, different workforces, to make teams to sponsor for money, again, for the antique fire department, truck. And then Anna Maria and I are done.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, we got Casey Gray, Remax Coastal.
Oh, thank you.
So for this week, I just have our quick update on map 39, lot 105 Dog Road. Stan had been in discussion with Maine Municipal Association, who had given him some advice about this property regarding maybe an adverse possession by the town, meaning that the town had openly used the property as its own for a length of time, and had suggested that maybe the buyers look into that approach as the town's ownership interest in the property. And we had referred them, and the town does have a case for that. The town had a tree growth plan on this lot from the late, I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, and had been following that tree growth plan for a length of time, openly and outwardly. And so I had approached the buyers to see if that was something that they were interested in pursuing. It seemed to me, I did not get a clear response, but that they felt more comfortable sticking with the plan that's already in place with the foreclosure on an unknown person, which is already being pursued. We have one listing, which is 140 Parsons Field Road. Stan had gotten the lien released from DHS on it, and we received 2 offers in the past 2 weeks. In order of receipt, we have offer number 1 with an offering price of $38,000, a $1,000 earnest money deposit. It is a cash offer and proof of funds was provided. This offer is subject to the buyer obtaining and being satisfied with a soils test and septic design for the property, with a closing date of August 4th, 2025. Offer 2 we received had a price of $10,000 with an earnest money deposit of $2,000. It was also a cash offer with proof of funds provided, not subject to any inspections, with a closing date of August 7th. I would recommend accepting offer number 1. We've been on the market almost a month now. It's just like a couple days shy of a month. And this is the best offer that we have received. Would the board like to vote on whether to accept offer number 1?
I would accept I'd make a motion to accept offer number 1 and give them 14 days to get their soils test.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Is that in
it's 10 business days, so
10?
14 days,
That's-
yep.
I'll second it.
Is it in there to clean it up? We don't want to sell it if they're not going to guarantee to clean it up to anybody. Greg?
I am willing to pay $10,000 cash right now, and the Farber Allen Trust will pay that right now. And that's our offer. We already own property in this town. We own 2 properties in this town. It's in a trust. We don't want to sell any of our land. And that's our fair offer. And then on top of that, if Chaz or the road commissioner wants to put ditchings in, they can put it in. The butters won't see stumps or whatever. We will put a house and a garage on there, and that's our offer.
But you haven't made that through the borough. You haven't made that through the borough. He didn't make that through you. Okay.
I'm making it through the town. You know that, Howard. And it's going to go in the trust.
Because we're going through a broker.
Yeah, it's going to go in the trust. It goes in the trust. We ain't reselling it. It's going to stay in the family.
Okay.
For your question, Wade,
Yes.
it is possible to counteroffer with a cleanup date. I wasn't instructed to include one in the listing. My understanding is that these folks are looking to build a house, so I don't think they're going to leave it the way it is.
Okay.
But neither offer came with like a statement about cleanup. But it was included that there was a cost associated with that in the listing.
When we put a bid in on it, we had a year to clean it up. I thought everybody had to do that.
I'll clean it up in 30 days.
So like when we
And-
sold
and
Range
Chaz-
E Road, that had a cleanup order with it. And that was part of the code enforcement file that we supplied with the listing.
Okay.
And I think Stan could do one of those anytime.
So I amend my motion to accept offer 1 to include the provision,
A counteroffer
a
to
counteroffer
include
that they have 60 days from the time of closing
to clean up
to
property.
clean the property up to the code officer's satisfaction.
That's fair. Would you like to vote on that motion?
Need a second first?
Second? Okay. All right, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. All right, Cindy Smith, update on cemetery.
So when I was here a couple of weeks ago, I told you, I'm just going to kind of quickly run through what happened. I had received a call from a researcher in North Carolina researching Esther Hayes and Susan Hayes, and that they were both Limerick residents in the 1800s. After the Civil War was over, they went down to North Carolina and taught the freed slaves how to read and write and do math, and they started schools. And so we Zoomed with them, Martha Smith and I, and I did go to the cemetery, and they are both buried at the Hillside Cemetery, and Esther's stone has tipped over. So when I was here that night, we talked about that I could call Heritage Memorials and talk to Forrest and see what he thought. And by just describing it to him, he said it would be between $2,500 and $3,000 to set the stone back upright. The other thing I did was I reached out to Maintain the Memory, and that is Judson Starr. He's out of Kennebunkport, and he he does gravestone preservation and cleaning, and he came out and looked at it, and he said he would do it for $800. So I have a quote here, and I don't know, I'll just kind of read it. It says, it's a three-piece marble monument. Top and mid-stone have fallen off the base stone, but remain joined together. The base stone is not level due to large stones underneath, causing movement during freeze and thaw cycles. The soil has also eroded away due to the ground slope. So the preservation work is the base stone will be lifted out, large stones found in the ground under the base will be removed. The ground will then be prepped with crushed stone. The base will be cleaned with D2 and reset. And I'll just tell you quickly what D2 is. That is what they use at the at veterans cemeteries to clean stones. The new soil will be added directly around the base. Upper and mid-stone will be lifted upright and cleaned with D2. It will then be joined to the base with lime mortar. Cost for preservation work as described above, $800. So that's the quote I got.
Are there other stones there, and are there other stones in the same condition?
Many stones have tipped over.
Tipped over.
I was there today looking because actually I met someone there who has been cleaning headstones in that cemetery and in the Baptist Church Cemetery, which is connected. And as you drive by, say if you're coming from Waterboro, cemetery's on your right, you'll see many dark gray, black stones. And as you continue on, you'll see many white stones. Those are the stones that this person has been working on for years to clean with the D2 solution. So I met that person there the other day, and we cleaned Esther and Susan's headstones with the D2, and their parents' headstones, which have both fallen over. When I went back today to look and see, because D2 will work over the next couple of weeks, once you clean the stone, it will continue to work and clean. And has improved, the 4 stones that we did. And as I walked through, I saw another stone that was tipped over, and that is Colonel Edwin Ilsley. He was born in 1837. He died in 1903. Seems he was a colonel during the Civil War. And his is laying flat on the ground, and it has been mowed over and chipped on the corners. And as I walked through previously, a few weeks ago, there are many stones, probably I counted at least 30. I took a bunch of pictures. Some of them have been chewed up pretty bad with lawnmowers over the years.
But this is a cemetery next to my shop.
Yes, next to Howard's shop.
A lot of them up
Yeah.
there.
There's also a giant tree that has a big...
Crown.
A what?
Crown.
Big tree.
It has a hole,
Oh, big hole.
so it's hollow. And that is, I believe it's an ash tree.
Yeah.
And that will need to come down before it comes down on its own. And you were going to bring that up tonight?
I noticed that the other day.
Yeah. So I did talk to the man that mows, Mr. Maintenance Man, the other day, because there's also a bush there that is full of thorns and is invasive. I think it's Japanese barberry. And that covers 2 stones. Like you can't, the other stones beside it say Milliken. I don't know who the Millikens were, but they are right in front of Ann Carroll Moore's. And Ann Carroll Moore, her birthday would be July 12th, coming right up on Saturday. She was instrumental in starting children's libraries she was the first one in New York. And then many children's libraries have been started, modeled after Ann Carroll Moore's. So she is also another prominent person buried in our cemetery up there. Her headstone is in good shape and has been cleaned with the D2 a number of years ago. But because I work at the library and we're coming up on her birthday, we were going to make pinwheels and put them on her grave so that as people drive by, they might be able to see that this is where she's buried. And we were going to tell the children about it and read the story about Ann Carroll Moore. And when I talked to the man that mows, he said, "And who's going to remove those pinwheels?" And I said I would do that, and I asked him what his schedule is, and he comes at the end of the month. So I will put the pinwheels up and make sure I get them removed before he mows again. So those were a couple of things. I don't know if you want this quote. I don't know.
Is that somebody that Sarah knew?
Yes.
Yeah, she works with some organization. I can't remember the name of it now.
So Howard is asking about the organization that Judson Starr works with, and that is the Maine Old Cemetery Association, which is called MOCA. He is the vice president of MOCA, but he also does this, professionally.
That's this gentleman?
Yes. Maintain the Memory out of Kennebunkport is the name of his business. And you can look him up, maintainthememory.com. And he is also on the cemetery committee in Kennebunkport. And he happened to be in Parsonsfield the day that I reached out to him, and he said, "I'm in Parsonsfield working at a cemetery." They were doing a video of how to clean and maintain headstones, and he said, I'm coming right through Limerick, so I met him up there, and we looked at it. So
That organization does a lot of work all over the state, the old cemeteries.
right. So MOCA is having their annual meeting coming up in a couple of weeks on a Sunday at Poland Spring, and they do a lot. They just do a lot. They have workshops, and they go out to cemeteries and train people on how to clean headstones and use the D2 and all that. So
I make a motion that the town accept an $800 donation to kick this off, and that we expend up to an additional $2,500 from our contingency account, and ask this gentleman to work through there when he's doing this and work through some of the other ones, up to an additional $2,500. And then we should look to put some money in the budget moving forward to get these cleaned up.
Now, is that money coming out of that cemetery account?
Nope. So I've got an $800 donation guaranteed for the first $800, but we want $2,500 spent out of the Selectboard contingency account, which we have $15,000 at our discretion,
Okay.
to do an additional $2,500 worth of work for other stones that are tipped over.
I would think to take care of the one stone right now, and then we'll see what else is gonna cost.
The $800 donation is contingent upon the town spending $2,500. We'll give the $800, but we got to do it. There's more up there that need to be done. It probably is something we should budget for,
Now,
and we're willing to get it started off with the first one. We have some money in that contingency account.
without looking at the balances, obviously, we have a big tree that's gotta come down there, and we gotta get a price on getting that down to there. And it's gonna take some maneuvering, because it's laying right over a bunch of headstones. If that comes down now, it's gonna be a lot of damage.
What about all the other ones?
there's other.
Just 10 of them up in the other cemetery. You could spend $100,000.
I'm just saying,
And ones in the other cemetery are worse than that.
I know one in the other cemetery has already been looked at.
No, it's all of them. All the ash trees are dead in that cemetery, all of them.
But I had a discussion with Ann on that. She had one she had to get a price on.
You drive by, you can see them.
Well, I know, there's a lot of problems up there, but I'm saying that the biggest one up in the Highland Cemetery, she's got a bid on it already. And I don't know what it is, so. She's told me so.
Okay.
But that's just put it out that we're gonna have to spend some money up there. But that will come out, do we have enough money in the tree account, do you think? I mean, it's not
Not
imminent,
sure of that.
there's not.
Well, we should
pieces
start
that
looking at, I
fall
mean,
along.
when, we gotta move money to take care of the trees we already voted for.
Yeah, that's true.
But this, I mean, these headstones are something that, I mean, we probably shouldn't just continue to ignore and let them get worse and worse.
Well, I wondered, you know, when I just saw that Colonel Edwin Ilsley, what is that law that says we have to maintain veterans? Because he has a flag. So, you know, I saw the flag and I saw the stone was laying, and so I went over and I took a picture of it. I also took a picture of that tree, which I can email to Alicia if anybody wants me to do that. I don't know.
Is there any help from the VA available for those stones?
I have no idea
Just a thought.
if the VA would help with that. I have no
Might be
idea.
worth a call, just to find out.
Well, apparently we've got 30 some of them, so we got,
You have a lot.
We got a
just-
lot to
just-
worry about.
we got time to try to find.
So we had a motion. Did we have a second? I'll second it. And that's for the $800 donation and the $2,500 from the contingency. All in favor?
That doesn't include the trees at all? Anything to do with
No.
that tree?
Taking care of the stones.
Okay.
Stones. Okay.
So where did we end up? Did anybody vote
Yes.
for it? So is it a vote?
Let's vote.
I want to amend the motion to make the donation $2,500 to match the town's $2,500. So we'll have $5,000 to spend.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Vote on the amended motion?
Oh, yes. We'll have a vote on the amended motion. All in favor? Opposed? Let's vote.
So how does this get done? I mean,
So reach back out to him,
uh-huh.
tell him that we've got, I mean, he seems like an honest fellow. I mean,
Yeah.
his price was significantly less than the other guy.
Right,
Tell him we've got $5,000 to spend.
okay.
Spend it as wisely as he can and fix, I would say fix as many stones as he can for $5,000, starting with veterans. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because we have some
Look
obligation
around
there.
for veterans that are tipped over or close to be. There's a couple that are, they're just, and I don't know if these were veterans, but they're just like leaning, and I don't know how he mows around it, because I had, it's gonna sound silly, but I laid on the ground by the headstone, and I put my camera under it, and I took a picture. I don't think, the one that I did was not a veteran, but he was a Mason. And he was only 29 years old, and I don't remember his name. But, so there's a lot of headstones there that need help. If you see me laying around in the cemetery, at least I was above ground. All right, thank you very much.
Was it you that talked to my son up there?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Howard's son came and wondered why we were parked on Howard's property, and that's what we were doing.
Well, we
was-
have them driving on the lawn and rutting things up,
Yeah,
that's why.
right. No, I understand. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to old business. Review of the legal accounts. There's nothing in there this week.
There's a bill from Melissa
what?
Tibbetts
Oh, I didn't even see
for the
that.
tan.
Oh, okay. All right, I stand corrected.
So So it's a different attorney.
Different attorney? Okay. Nothing on that, but, how much was it?
$1,500 and change.
$1,500, okay. I apologize for that one. And lights for the town buildings, scheduled for Friday, the 11th. Doing all of them in one day?
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Yep, we're gonna have them start code, and then we'll go to the next two buildings.
Okay. All right. Review of policies. We got the personnel policy review for June 23rd. We need to change the word sick or earned paid leave.
So this is one we looked at last week. It's just part of the personnel policy where we have sick leave, which we don't accrue anymore. It's just earned paid leave. So those are a couple paragraphs that need some complete rewording.
Didn't we vote on that last week?
No, we decided to review, and it's not just as easy as changing the word around. That's why I haven't done it.
Thoughts on how to change that?
It could just be taking a couple words out. I just didn't want to do anything that... If it was just a change of a word, I'd have been happy to do it, but it changes things a little bit more than that.
Would you like me to take a copy home and Alicia and I put our heads together and try and change that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just hard to sit down and pick something up and do it, try to do it the right way.
Okay. Well, we'll pick that up on the 21st then.
Yeah.
Okay. Review of the Brick Town Hall accessibility policy.
So this will be the next one you can take and review. Probably has a little bit of changing. I think when we wrote this up, we were still, I think we were still in the process with DOJ, so it's probably changed a little bit now.
Do the same thing for that one. Bring it up next meeting.
I think the only change is, I mean, that should stay the same, except we can take out the first three sentences
What one?
under the first floor,
Okay.
because the DOJ's out of it.
Yeah.
The usage is still a capacity of 49,
yeah.
that still stays, because that's with the fire
That's
marshal's
the
office.
fire marshal, yeah.
So if we remove the first three sentences, we will be up to date on that.
Good with that?
So I make a motion, we remove the first three sentences under first floor for the Limerick Main Brick Town Hall accessibility policy.
Second on that? I'll second it. All right. All in favor?
Sure.
Opposed? Okay. And the sign in the administrative fee
We're gonna have to
policy.
change the names on the bottom of it, that's all.
Yeah, I'll bring back a new one next week for new signatures. So this one you have just needs signatures. We've voted on it. I was just updating my policy book, making sure I have the correct ones online. For some reason, I don't know what happened to my
We just
signature.
have a signed one.
Yeah, I just need signatures. on
So
it.
we've already voted, we just signed it.
It's already voted. I just want to have the legal copy with signatures. I'll find it after, but.
All right, the municipal parking lot paving update, Bernie and Howard.
We ought to set up a meeting next week. We're gonna have to interview each firm. We had two firms put in for it, so I'd like to ask Alicia if she could send a notice out or a request out when they would like to meet with us. When is a good time for us to get together? You wanna meet late in the afternoon, early evening?
This is just an interview.
It's just to interview them. We're not gonna decide. We have to interview what they're gonna offer us, and then we sit down. And this is a closed-door interview.
I can do it
You
any
just-
night.
Any idea when?
You want to call them and see if we can get a few different dates from each of them and then throw them out to us and see?
Sure, are you looking to do like for a meeting or what,
No,
like
it
during
has
the,
to be, we have to have each firm here individually, and it has to be a closed-door session, because it
Oh,
still
okay.
impacts the bidding, so it's just
Okay.
us and them.
so are you thinking like a 6 o'clock on before
If-
a Monday night? Like
if-
if we can get,
How long do you think we need for each one?
An hour?
Want to do a 5? Try to do them both in one
we
night?
can do both?
5 to 6, 6 to 7?
Maybe 6 to 7,
What's that?
6 to 7.
He says we need an hour for each one.
Do one at 6 and do one at 7.
Well, we're gonna have a regular meeting at 7, we're gonna do it on a Monday night. Or pick another night and just do we can do it on an off Monday where we're not meeting. You wanna do it on an off Monday and do 5 to 6 to 6 to 7, or 6 to 7, 7 to 8?
The
Or
better, just to get,
They,
know where
we gotta have them come in, give their proposal, we gotta pick so they get it on a schedule, so they have something for us to put out.
you wanna try to do it on one of the off weeks?
which is so.
So you wanna reach out to them and see if in the next few off weeks they're available?
Do we have to have a camera like started like we do normally?
No.
And it,
Yeah, because we're technically going into executive session for contractual negotiations. So,
I
yes.
just feel like you're
we'd-
better
we'd
to
have to
try
open
it.
up a
By
meeting.
rights, we're just asking questions.
We're not
We're not
making any
voting on it.
decision, we're just interviewing them.
No,
When
I
we
just think you
interviewed for the
still
fire
have-
station, we did it up to the fire station.
Then you can't have it closed door, then you have to invite people.
yeah.
If it's not
Or
an
you have
executive
to
session,
set
then it's an
it as-
open
yeah.
meeting. You can't just hold a closed meeting, I'm sorry,
Well,
it's just the
I
way.
don't care, it's just, you know, they still have some privileged bid information there.
Yeah, it should be done in executive session, it should be done.
We just have to
privately.
put it out
But we
and
just
like
have to-
start a recording.
You gotta
and
start
then-
recording, say we're going into executive, it's just,
Okay.
it's unfortunate, but it's the way we have to do it if we're gonna.
Well, we've just got that, the next meeting, we got one
Get an executive session the next meeting.
executive session, we could do it after that, couldn't we?
Well, I certainly could put it out to them and try for July 21st as one, maybe at 6, and then like 2 weeks after that, do the other one.
For the other one.
Or and see if either one of those dates work. So you're just here an hour early before each meeting?
For myself,
I'm happy to do
to be
whatever.
fresh, I'd like to see them both in the same night.
Okay.
I don't know what people think about that.
That's fine, I don't care when we do it.
I mean, because it's gonna be 2 weeks apart, you're gonna forget what the other guy said.
It's better
Do we want to try
off
for
same
the
night.
Yeah,
21st, or you want to try for August 4th? Or ask for both and see if,
let's try the 21st. Can everybody do 5 o'clock? Is that too early?
No, 5 o'clock's fine, but if you need an hour for each one, we start at 5, we've got another executive session that night also.
And that shouldn't take long. I think we can probably, if we start
I
our
don't
meeting.
honestly think, based on the proposals we've got, I don't think that's gonna take long with either one of
We'll
them.
give them each 45 minutes, and then we got a half hour for the next one.
That's fine.
So let's try to do it the 21st, if they're available.
they were both very responsive to my email about after vacation, so.
But they both stress the fact, though, they need to get this in their
Yes.
schedule now, so they can have something ready for us to present to the town, budgetary-wise. So, just food for thought.
Okay.
Oh, hey, can I bring something else up under that? I know we talked about brush hogging the field out there. I mowed a little bit of it, as much as I could. I'm not gonna mow up the top where the bushes are up through. We also got, on this end, there's a strip probably 100 feet wide, the length of the field, that is all poison ivy and poison oak. I think we're probably gonna have to treat that somehow before they smooth that up, and
Before?
Yeah,
yeah.
I can make that go away.
What's that?
I can make it go away.
Trouble is, we gotta be licensed to do it, that's the
No,
problem.
they do have, there are pretty rugged things that you can buy as a regular consumer that aren't as strong as the license people get. How did the stuff work at the Bricktown Hall? We got some stuff at Site 1 in Portland that we used for around the Boy Scout Hall, and Dean did it, and it killed it. And it was over the counter, but not like Roundup like you get at the hardware store or Home Depot.
Yeah.
It was expensive. It was $700 or $800 to buy the chemical.
Oh, that's way too much money.
I just thought there was a Wang Tangle years ago. When Ricky's father did it, he got chastised because he sprayed the sidewalk not being licensed, and I thought we had an ordinance or something that people had to be licensed to do it.
We have an ordinance about town ways, so roadways.
Okay?
There is an ordinance about town ways, but it doesn't necessarily
Because
talk
we did the
about.
Boy Scout Hall.
We did the Boy Scout Hall. Yeah,
Tell you what, I'll donate and spray it.
done.
Here we go.
Love it.
Okay, we got the overlook.
I haven't heard back from him on a price. I'll touch base with him this week.
Okay. Discuss the purchase order policy. Howard?
I have got one more thing to do on that, and then I gotta sit down with all the departments.
Okay.
I apologize for the delay. I completely forgot about doing that until I got on vacation. It dawned on me I didn't do it.
Oh, that's CDBG paperwork, nothing new this week. The TAN update,
Special town meeting for tree work.
Did you miss the review
Special town
winter,
meeting for tree work.
did we miss the winter maintenance road one too,
Yeah.
on purpose, or?
You missed this one?
oh, jeez, sorry about that.
If
All
our lovely
right,
road commissioner
review
has
the
an
winter
update.
maintenance, road list, snowplow, the turnarounds. Ricky,
Not ready for it yet.
not ready for it?
Me and Stan are still riding around. Well, some of them are town turnaround, but they're private property.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we missed you on purpose.
All right. Special town meeting for tree work. We need to set one up in September.
I think we should pick a date, and especially if we're gonna add the question about the fire truck. And September will be here before we know it. No, the 8th,
The first?
15th, 22nd, 29th.
What day are we coming back for?
We will be back for the 8th, back to Mondays, because we'll meet on the 2nd after Labor Day, and then we'll be back to normal.
Let's do it on, want to do it on the 2nd?
Tuesday? Fine with me.
Before the meeting, it shouldn't be
Yep.
long.
Yep.
6 PM,
Start at 6.
so the 2nd.
So the two items will be to
What date?
September 2nd.
Okay.
Move the money for the tree work and accept, we'll have an ordinance written to, warrant article issued and written to transfer the leftover funds from this,
We can put the account number.
yeah, from the account number after all,
What will we transfer it to? Does that have an account?
we will create a special account for
Just for that.
fire truck, the antique fire truck rehabilitation. After all the expenses have been
Because
paid.
we're gonna be, when we seal that, we will have expenses from the contract, so we seal it.
Yes.
Once we paid off everything, whatever's remaining, we want it to go out.
We'll just save the remaining balance.
They have an account already.
They might, and I'll look.
Well, they have a donation account. I don't, these are
Oh.
specific for that truck.
Yes, okay.
So it'll have to be a specific
We want to establish a
specific
special
revenue account for those donations.
for the antique fire truck.
Yeah,
So you have to establish that account for.
we have to establish it and fund it with the funds left over.
Are you voting to go with our How are you writing the question for the tree company? Are we picking one of the older?
It's just a transfer of funds. It's not picking one of them.
Well, you're not picking one, so you know the amount you're transferring?
Well, we'll have to look at the bids,
Okay,
pick one,
yeah.
and then transfer appropriately.
Okay, that's what I mean. So you're gonna wanna see those bids
So
again?
let's see those bids back next
Okay.
week, maybe?
All right, now we got the tan update.
10 update. I'm meeting with Julie tomorrow morning to see where we're at with that and keep that process rolling to get it finalized.
And we got the FMLA quarterly report. Brady can...
I know, yeah, Brady was gonna check in with you and,
All right, the cemetery entrances, so we're going to keep those on, and we will have to see if we can get the state or if anybody called them, or...
Who did all the work on the hill of the cemetery? Who cleaned up all that this week?
Through Provincial Boys. You talking about all the weed whacking?
Yeah, they,
The Provincial Boys, they do it every year.
oh, okay. It looks great. They do it on their own and just,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's,
Well, thank you.
they did it, yeah, thank them. That looks really nice.
Well, we'll just have to see if I can give them, I mean, anybody else called this, anybody else called yet, or I can call them,
Who?
the state, find out if they're gonna fix that, or...
I if Stan has a contact, somebody,
Stan has
I can
contact?
ask him.
Okay.
We haven't heard back from him yet.
Oh, yeah, let me cross that off. Let me ask Ricky if he's got a
I was
contact.
saying, Ricky,
Number, I haven't heard, he hasn't got
Okay,
any instruction.
all right.
Gary Cody was concerned about that.
he was very concerned, rightfully so.
Okay, we got the Citizens Advocate update. Stan was this last time. He is happy to do it again, or if you want to leave as me.
We voted Alicia to do it. Let's leave her where she's at. She
Okay.
can get some instruction from Stan on how little work it is and move on.
All right, November ballot items. We got the disbursement ordinance, TV filming ordinance, the earned paid leave ordinance, transfer of funds for the auditor, dog ordinance, impact fee, and fire truck restoration money.
Cross off the fire truck thing, because we'll be back September. So the disbursement ones might be the easiest. That one was, the disbursement ordinance that we have now is changing the signatures from 1 to 2. So I can bring that next week if we want to, or next time. The other two, I can forward the email that we got from the lawyer when we asked about the earned paid leave question on the ballot last time. She highly recommended putting that into an ordinance and gave wording for it.
Is that going to include the new family medical leave that
No, it doesn't. That doesn't.
nobody knows who's even going to be entitled to it, if anybody, but we've got to take that into consideration.
Well, we voted already to pay.
Well, we're paying it like everybody else in the state, and then
Okay, yeah.
in a year, I think that's when the state will determine that it wasn't a great idea, and nobody will have to, and then they'll have all that money to work with.
Well, I don't depend on the state too much. Hence the cemetery classic example.
But we're at least doing what we're supposed to be doing, except that's what Brady was checking on, is because we need to make sure that somebody's doing our quarterly reporting. Because if they're not, that's not good.
Yeah.
The filming ordinance, that is reworking off of the one that we already, the question.
So we have
Just remind me so I can.
warrant articles on filming,
Because we want to make an
but
ordinance.
never actually an ordinance. So
Okay.
technically, once you do the warrant article, if you don't do it, continue it,
Doesn't
it goes away.
Yeah.
So we want to come up with a plan and a thought about what we feel we want to and have to film, and whether we even want an ordinance, right now, the filming that we put out is, I don't say, I'm not saying it's voluntary, right? It's not we don't have to film anything, and we're within we have no ordinance, so we're not required to do it, but we continue to do it. I think we need to discuss a little bit about what items we're gonna film and what we are. I mean, a few years ago, the library trustees came out of it, and they were being filmed, and that came out. So, do we look at saying just the Monday night meetings, just the plan, whatever. So we need to talk about it and come up with some thoughts as to what we would like to film and not. So I think if we're going to do that, we ought to get the public hearing, we ought to plan ahead, and let's get the public hearing out before the wording has to be done for that.
Sure. This warrant is due to the town clerk September 2nd. That's why I'm like, we got to move along this.
Well, I guess,
And I don't know if you want to make your special town meeting, oh no, we can't, that's too late, that's September 2nd, so we can do it in August. But we got to have what we want.
well, we have to, I think if we're going to make some changes to what we're filming, it would be nice to hear the public's input before we already have the wording done, and it's too late to change.
It's a discussion, yeah.
So we ought to schedule a public hearing in August sometime.
Let's put it on the calendar right now.
Sooner than later.
No time like
And we'll have to do all the items.
Yeah. And we can do one towards, well, you'll be doing back to back, I guess, public, special town meeting. Well, the special town meeting will be not. So if you want to do the end of, well, we'll meet on the 4th and the 18th in August, unless we do an extra night.
I would say August 18th at the latest.
I'll be honest, I mean, I'd say the off night. I'd recommend the 11th and have it just be a special town meeting. Because look, I mean, even tonight, look, we don't have much going on, and we're going to be here till at least 9 o'clock.
I prefer.
If we do a special town meeting before the meeting, it's going to run till at least 8, which is going to get our regular meeting into the 10 o'clock hour. So
I think the 25th is a better off night. That gives us an extra.
time to get, all right, that's fine.
I understand the off night, but I would rather see
Yeah.
an extra week for
I
us.
just say do it on the off, my recommendation in the off night, just to
We're gonna
give
have
us
it
extra time.
here, or we're gonna hold it at the fire station, so we don't have a debacle like we had the last time.
I'm for that.
If it's a special town meeting and it's an off night, let's have it at the fire station. If 3 people show up, good. If 50 people show up, we're in trouble here.
That's fine, we gotta just make sure that call SRC-TV and tell them what night it's gonna be, and have them bring in their cameramen and their portable stuff.
Yep.
And again, we're doing that because we want to do it, not that we're obligated to do it. We don't even have to film that meeting. But I think where we have been, until the ordinance gets changed, I think we should.
I think we should. I think we should offer them a place where they can hear everything that's going on, not be jammed in a room and we end up.
Plan it for the fire station.
The dog ordinance, I will reach back out to the animal control officer. She's looking at that now. We haven't reviewed that. It's like 1996, and there were some concerns, some complaints she got that don't reflect our ordinance. So she's looking at that currently. The impact fee, you'll see, I printed.
Can you back up to the dog ordinance?
Sure.
Can you let her know tomorrow the date we are having the public hearing? And we are, well, I'm gonna make this easy. I make a motion that we demand the presence of the animal control officer at the public hearing for that.
Second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
So let her know that are stronger than requesting her presence. If she'd like to keep the position, we want her to show up.
Are you saying what time you want to do the public hearing?
We're gonna do 7 o'clock? I mean, I think it's, People are used to that.
What's the date on that again?
August 25th.
Is that giving us enough time if we get that election coming in?
That's all we got. Enough time to do it.
Yeah,
We gotta have everything done by the 2nd.
I know, but
So if we do it on the 25th, that means our meeting on the 2nd, we need to vote on everything and have it done for,
is that gonna give enough time?
well, we can have I think we have the warrant articles all written for the 25th, as best as we believe they should be.
Right,
Meet on the 25th,
make any adjustments?
make the adjustments if we feel we need to after we get public input, and then get them to Dee Dee for the 2nd.
Okay.
We could actually,
I could
Would-
ask, I wonder if Dee Dee could accept them on the 3rd, because we would meet on the 2nd, and we could potentially vote on that night.
we can, as long as we advertise it, we can, after the public hearing, we could have a regular meeting to accept the warrant articles to get them to her on the 2nd. I don't think we're gonna find a ton of changes. None of this is, I think you're gonna get some feedback, maybe on the dog ordinance, depending on what that says, because a lot of dog owners out there. You're probably gonna get some feedback on the filming.
Yeah.
I think the other two will.
I think the other stuff is gonna be pretty blah, so,
So what I was saying is Stan provided 2 drafts. That is the request that he's asked the board to be at the next planning board meeting on the 16th. He has discussed it with the planning board at the last meeting, but I believe it's still off topic. So he'd
let
like
them give some input and we'll,
both boards, if possible, to
yeah.
be there.
You said that wasn't updated since '96.
That's what it says.
I believe it's been updated since then. We have a barking dog ordinance in town.
I don't have to look, that's the only one that I
And
can
the
put
only
my
other,
fingers
basically,
on.
everything else is all goes by state law, but
Yeah.
the only other ordinance that you might have is, everybody believes that there's a leash law in the state of Maine, but it isn't. It would have to be a town ordinance.
Okay.
So,
I can double check, that's what I have, that's what I had in my folder too. Is there a thought process for the auditor funds? Like where we're
Did we
transferring?
get an idea, John, what we're talking for money, what's going on?
With the auditor,
Yeah,
I think we could safely say a minimum of another 15,000, based on what they've been billing at. I think by that time, we're gonna have to look at a chart of all the accounts, see where up until the end of August, we've saved money, and try to find areas to move it from, where we have, maybe we'll have some areas where we've only spent 50% and the year's three quarters over. So we're just gonna have to look and see what we have. We can have some contingency money. By then, we'll definitely know what's in all of the other surplus accounts. We'll know what's in the undesignated account. The good news is the money from all these lot sales will be in the capital project reserve account. So if we have to take some money from the undesignated account to fund this, we just got to find a way of doing it without raising any more money. And we'll just have to, maybe we got to pick at 3 or 4 different areas. I mean, there's some areas that are underspent already, so.
I know, I'm talking to a couple other towns that they didn't have cost them that kind of money though, but let's hope it doesn't.
It
No.
never has that, I mean, we've never gone over.
Well, we've always been way under, but 2 of these single item audits for the water department, the water thing and the fire station, those alone were
Yeah.
$7,000 or $8,000. I mean, so that's a one-time thing this year.
Yep.
After that, it's done, so.
Can we take some of the money left over in the fire station account and pay for that part of the audit?
We can certainly take it out of, the people can take it from anywhere. Huh?
money. No. And I take it from the FEMA money.
I think the FEMA money has to reimburse the accounts it came out of.
Yes.
But if we reimburse those accounts, and we are now in the positive, then we could move it. So it'd be a double move kind of thing, but, I mean, I don't think, it's gonna be a lot of money, but I think we will be able to come up with it without raising any more taxes.
Knock on wood, our legal account is
The
still
legal
looks
account is.
still
yeah.
good.
And that's in the same, if the legal account stays decent, we really don't have to vote to move it because it's all in the same category. So it's in the same warrant article. So we just gotta see at that point where we're at, where it'll be, there's gotta be money left in the treasurer's payroll account because she hasn't had any, the assistants are all gone. So maybe we move it right from the treasurer's account, right? Those money.
I think in a couple of weeks we'll have a better understanding of the whole
Huh?
thing. A couple of weeks we should have a better understanding
Yeah,
of the whole thing.
we definitely should. So, yeah, once the audit is, and I guess everybody, there's been a lot of talk about the audit. By state law, we got 9 months to have the audit complete. So that takes us to the end of August. We will have it done, they've promised us it will be before the 9-month period. We're hoping it's going to be in the next couple weeks. They've been working through it. They've got a lot of work. They've got we had a lot of moving parts in the past year. They are getting through it. Whatever troubles we've had with our books and our accounting, what we have said all along is we are confident that there's nothing missing. And I personally spoke with somebody from the auditors when she was here, and they have started the process of cash reconciliation to determine that there is no money missing. They're a long way through that, and she said at this point, there's nothing to be concerned about. There's still a little ways to go, but the numbers they're at right now are well in line with a budget like ours as far as they've gotten through it to where they should be. So for anybody out there that's waiting for the audit, I know we've gotten a couple of emails on it. We have until the end of August by law to get it out. We'll meet that obligation. It may be a little sooner. And
We'll put it
hopefully
online. I mean, we'll advertise
we'll
it
get
as much
it,
as
we'll get it out
possible.
as soon as we have it. Anybody else can have it. There was just a lot of extra moving parts that needed to be switched around and plugged back in. And when that's done, we will start working on the 2025 books for budgeting season and hope that we can have some good numbers to work with, to budget with.
Okay. We got some things from Stan here for the impact fees.
Well, we'll review
So those are
We're
just
gonna
drafts
review
you
them.
can
Yeah,
take,
those
yep.
will go with that
To review.
budget committee and the planning board.
Like I
meeting.
said, I think that next planning board meeting is what he is hopeful for and coming up with.
Okay, we got no new business. Hearing of citizens.
We'll talk about something on new business. We have to sit down with Great Falls about that drain at the fire station. I know Vinnie's been trying to schedule something, but we need to see what their proposal is. The engineer drew a plan out. I know Tony and Aaron are in favor of the plan. So we just have to see what their piece is and then figure out how we're gonna run the pipe down to get it so it heads out the other pipe. That's on us. The other part, as far as I'm concerned, is on Great Falls and Levitt.
Yep.
They didn't put it in the way they should have. That's on them. That's on them. Getting the pipe down there, that's on us.
That's on us, yep.
Okay. Any hearing of citizens? Seeing none, make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Adjourn. Second? All in favor? Thank you, everyone. Good night.